Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. At the end of the last episode, we crafted up our second creative item, the creative RF source. As you can imagine, this gives us infinite energy, and so I hooked it up here with a bunch of energy phantom faces. These are all linked to the input of the draconic energy ball, and it's the creative RF is in the middle of this. So we're now getting, what, 12 billion RF a tick? And the time to fill this went down to 1 year 48 days. From about 600 years, I think it was before. Something insane like that. But yeah, we're still never going to fill this. And effectively speaking, infinite energy means these systems now are redundant and we can now tear them down. So I think we're going to start today with hopefully the very satisfying process of ripping up all of this old base. At least the vast majority of it is going to be gone. So I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully it's going to be nice to get this done. So as this footage is rolling, I want to just take a minute to chat about the future of the channel. There's going to be some changes in about a week's time, and I don't think I'll be able to maintain daily uploads. I think since I started this playthrough, and maybe even my Enigmatica series, I've only missed 1 or 2 days of not uploading. Pretty full on when I actually look back on it. There's a lot of time spent where you actually don't see on the videos. It takes me multiple hours, at least 8 hours per video, sometimes even more. And don't get me wrong, it's insanely fun. I've had a really good time with this mod pack. And if you're a bit on the fence about trying it out, I would say definitely go for it. It's, I would say, my favourite mod pack of all time. And hopefully 1.3 is around the corner, the update. But yeah, overall it's a really good experience. I'll probably do some sort of base tour / pack review at the end. And I would say we've still got at least 10 episodes left before we get creative ending, which is going to be the end. Hopefully I can finish up all the building for then as well. But if it goes on longer than a week and a half, then I think the uploads are going to be moved to at least once every other day. Maybe even once every 3 days. But when I started this, I really didn't expect to get any views at all. So thank you for that. And thanks for all your comments so far. It's been really fun to make these videos and interact and get some feedback and some tips. And yeah, it's not something I thought I would have done, but here we are. So yeah, as we're nearing the end, I don't really know what's next, since I'm not going to have as much free time. Although it's very likely that I'm going to start a new series and probably another Minecraft mod pack. What that will be though, I am not sure yet. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's move on to the video. So I ended up taking down the GregTech reactors as well. I hope we don't need those. If we do, I'm going to have to set them back up. But as for this ore processing though, we're still processing quartzite, I think. Yeah, I think it's just quartzite, ruby, and nether quartz. Oh, and I guess apatite. But I think I'm going to move those machines up there and just have one for each ore, since it's not going to be that much anyway, and most of those things we're only macerating. So I think this is going to go as well. I then have to move the assembly lines. That's going to take me quite a bit, because I would like to add more than just 2 for the on-demand crafts. So obviously these are going to sit in our assembly line room. And I'll probably put them in this space here for the on-demands. I'm not quite sure how many I'm going to add, but it's going to be probably about 10 assembly lines for on-demand crafting. And that leaves our tree farm, which is going to have to find a new home, I think. I mean, either that or we just leave it. But I don't really want to leave anything down here. I really want to get all of this cleaned up tonight. So I'll probably build a tree farm, maybe like right here, just in a little space here. And then this spawner farm, I've changed this to cows because I know we're going to need some leather. That's for, I think, elytras. We need to craft a whole lot of elytras, so that's going to be for that. And if we're going to take down the reactors, we might as well take down the fuel processing. And then that just leaves the Microverse projectors, which I'm going to have to move as well. So yeah, I've got a lot of moving ahead of me. A lot of work ahead of me. I guess I'm going to have to move these processors as well for applied energistics. Who knows if I'll even get all of this finished, but I would like to make a start anyway. So I'll come back hopefully when this base is gone. Well, the old base is well and truly gone now. And it almost feels a bit unsafe without having that floor below us. But yeah, this took me quite a bit of time. Everything except the Microverse projectors is now moved upstairs, including the assembly lines. In fact, we can take these down. But first, let me show you where all the new things and systems are placed. So I moved the tree farm up and the mob farm up to this. Oh, that's a bit dangerous there. Up to this little area here, which connects with our fluid solidifier room. These drawers, I'm just trying to empty out into these ones, just since they're the old frame. But yeah, we got, okay. Do you mind? Yeah, if he blows one of those up, the game could potentially crash. I already crashed the game by destroying the mutton drawer that was down there. But yeah, so the tree farm and the mob farm is set up more or less exactly as it was. I just moved it over just to keep it nice and clean and incorporate it into the new base. Another few small changes is I moved our applied energistics automation up here. So this is for fluics, or yeah, for fluics and for the pure crystals in this one. These have some interfaces hooked up behind it. It's pretty much exactly how I had it set up downstairs. And then over to this side is for making concrete or building all the base, as well as the auto chisel automation. So yeah, I also have a painting machine, I think, down here. Yeah, I just put a painting machine for the conduit facades on here. And then all of the rest of this thing I think we've seen before. I did go ahead and hide all the items from these drawers, just since they were a bit of a mismatch. So I used the concealment key from the drawers mod. And the rest of the 82 stuff is downstairs. I just tucked it away in a corner over here. So this is making us passive processors. In fact, the drawers are probably full, yeah. So this is going to give us passive 82 processors. It's all just hidden away back here. And I have just one inscriber per component, and then it puts it together in the last one. Then if we come out of here and go downstairs, we connect up to our assembly line room, which is now, I mean, at least the outline is now finished. As you can see, it's all been cleaned up in here. And I've also taken the time and hooked up 10 assembling machines for on-demand crafting. These are effectively what the ones downstairs were. Those ones you can see through the window there. These serve the same purpose, and I have all of the same recipes in these. And then this side's for obviously our passive stuff, which I haven't added to yet. So one slight change I made from the ones that were set up downstairs were these creative tanks. Instead of importing from applied energistics, I decided to just use creative tanks, since it would be less strain on the system. And then we're outputting to interfaces which are all connected through the bottom. You still need some facades on there, but I can do that in a bit. And also I powered these using max energy input hatches now that we have the power. And I'll probably even upgrade those since these are UV, I think. Yeah, they're running at UV and these ones are max. So more or less all our machines now can be converted to max, that we have infinite RF. And then right at the front of this room I have all the packagers for these assemblers. So in the front is the recipe encoder, where we put in all the patterns or make any changes that we need to make. And then the middle of these 3x3s is the packager, and then we have package extenders or packager extensions, which basically do what they say on the tin and will replicate the packager that they're connected to and just package more packages in parallel. It's faster creation of packages basically. So I have one for each of these two packagers or unpackagers that are on the assembly lines. And then up here I don't think much else has changed. We're still a year and 49 days from filling that core. So all that remains downstairs is just the Microverse projectors. All of this assembly line stuff can be taken down now. And I don't think this is going to take very long actually. And then after we move all of this, which was a big project I'm really glad to get finished, we're basically just working on the creative items. So it's going to be a lot of finding the bottlenecks in our systems. I suspect circuits we're going to have to update. Like the GregTech circuits, I mean. Especially tier 3s. I find that tier 3s are lacking in production. So it's likely that those will be moved to a processing array. But yeah, if we take a quick look at the quest book here, all of the early game tab stuff, there's a couple of things still to clean up, but that's obviously no big deal. And then we're into the end game now, so Infinity Ingot is going to be the next big challenge. These require 1 heart of the universe each, and also a lot of chaotic cores. So I think also we're going to have to expand our fusion crafting for our passive things. But first I'm going to clean up the rest of the downstairs here, and then we'll move on and set up our Microverse projectors. So that's the assembly lines gone. Now we have to move over our Microverse projectors. There's still a few actually to get built as well, so let me start off by doing that. I need to fill in all the rest of these multi-blocks. And then I'll also convert the energy inputs that are on these from UV to max. Yeah, I want to put max energy input hatches on all of these. Okay, one built, one to go. And decided to switch the inputs from the top, and I think we're going to put them on the bottom instead. Since there's going to be like some level emitters and some interfaces, I think it'll just look a bit cleaner. And in fact, I might move the energy to the bottom as well. We'll see, but yeah, let me build this one more first, and then we'll set up the inputs. And done. We now have 4 of our Microverse projectors, one for 7, 8, 9 and 10. It's probably very unnecessary to have one for 9 and 10, but we have it now anyway. And why not go this overkill? I mean, we have this whole huge base. Why not go the extra mile and build an extra Microverse projector? So over here at the old Microverse projector, I have the logic here for sending the missions. We can more or less just copy this, except we're not going to need the one for tier 7, this dragon one. Yeah, this mission here, I don't think this is actually necessary anymore. Unless, in fact, is this the only way of getting dragon hearts? It might actually be. Okay, yeah, it is. Yeah, we do need this, actually. I was thinking since we could get the dragon scales from the tier 8, or the dragon eggs, I mean, from the tier 8, we don't need this mission, but we still need it for the hearts. So all 3 of these will be copied over. Okay, so I'm underneath the tier 7 Microverse projector. I hooked up all the same logic. I tried to keep it all nice and neat here as well. So we have both the dragon layer data mission and also the one for dragon hearts. And it's the same logic with the level emitters. The crafting cards is set with this item when we request it. And then the export bus is set with the same item with the redstone card in when then active with signal. So in fact, let's actually plug this in and just do a quick test just to make sure it works. And we have tier 7s auto-crafted, so we have 24 in stock. So let's just request the dragon layer data. We should now observe our Microverse projector running. And we don't. Okay. There is stuff in the input bus. Oh, you know what it is? It's this cable. It would help if I start plugging things in. When am I ever going to learn? Okay, now it should be running. Yeah, there we go. And oh yeah, that's so much faster than it was before at max. It's only a couple of seconds per mission. That's ideal. So I'm going to hook up the tier 8, 9 and 10, and then yeah, we can move on from this. Okay, so I got all 4 of the large Microverse projectors hooked up, and I set up missions for tier 9 and 10 as well, with the export buses and things like that. One thing I was reminded of when I was doing that was the tier 9 requires the stellar creation data. Yeah, these things here in order to launch. And this we get from the tier 2. So I think I want to set up passive tier 2. I already have all the components, I just have to set up this final step. I think we're already making all of this stuff. So it's just going to be adding another crafting table setup, similar to how we're crafting the tier 8s. And we're down to 51 microminer tier 1s. I wonder why that is. We should actually be crafting some more. So let's go and check that out and see what the bottleneck is. So tier 1 microminers are here. What are we missing? Basic microminer guidance systems. Where are those? Can you see it anywhere? Because I can't. Maybe I'm missing something. Ah, here they are. Steel heavy plating. Are we not passive in this? I thought we were. I guess we're not. Let me set up a PA for that. We were also out of space here for our processing arrays, so I had to set up an extra row here on top. I don't know how many of these we're going to have to fill, so I wanted to start from the center and I'll do like these 6 first. I also went to craft the compressors for these, and it looks like our assembling lines are stuck, which is not something I wanted to see after just setting them up. So let's go and troubleshoot that, I guess. Let's see what's wrong here. So why have we stopped? Is there any inputs in these? There is, okay. Oh, you know what it'll be? I forgot the circuits, the integrated circuit, or the GregTech circuits, I mean. So it's trying to craft the pistons, or the motors, one of those. And this requires circuit 2, which is something I didn't add. So yeah, let me get some circuits and resolve this. Okay, adding the circuits in seems to have resolved it. I also had to like break the packagers as well. It got stuck, and replacing the packagers seems to have fixed it. I really don't know what the problem was there. So anyways, yeah, we're making steel heavy platings now, which means we should be making our tier 1s again, as well as these things. As the base has been running for a couple of hours while I was moving things, and not like we weren't really consuming many resources, a lot of these buffers had filled up. But now, since we're going to be consuming a lot of these, sending a lot of microminers, crafting a lot more late game items, we're going to have a chance to see what our bottlenecks are. And I suspect quite a lot of things are going to have to be upgraded. But yeah, we're now making the tier 1s. Yeah, this is plenty fast enough for tier 1s. And then we have to add tier 2s as well. Alright, yeah, that was the advanced crafting. So I'm going to set up another system like this for the tier 2s. Okay, so I have a brand new setup for the passive crafting of tier 2s. Modified slightly, but still based on this same concept. So this interface here stocks all the necessary items for the tier 2 craft. That imports without a signal when we have below 64 tier 2 microminers into this packager, which packages it into the package. And then this interface requests that package from the ME system. This item conduit pulls it into this unpackager, and then this unpackager will put it into the advanced crafter. This crafts it and then puts it back in our system. And yeah, it stops itself once we have over 64. It might overshoot by 1 or 2, but that's okay. I'm not really looking for exact numbers here. So yeah, that's our tier 2s now passived. And I think we'll have to set up tier 4 and 5 here as well in these 2 slots. I don't think tier 6 is necessary, so we'll be skipping that. So now that we have the tier 2s, we should automatically launch them, I think, for stellar creation data. And the stellar creation is in the small microverse projectors, so I guess we'll use this one here. And then we can output this to a drawer. More or less the same as what we've done here, I think. Oh yeah, I also forgot about this situation where we set up the tier 1s. This really should be changed to have a robot arm with a filter on, because there's 3 inputs and there's like 2 inputs being filled, so it's jamming itself up. The way to fix this is to rotate the input bus so it doesn't pull from the interface. So if we take these out, it won't be filled again. And then what we can do is put a robot arm on there with a item filter. So if we put this on the top face and then we take a screwdriver, and then we'll say keep exact, and we'll just say like a stack of each. So a stack of chests, stack of quantum flux, and the tier 1 microminer. This should ensure that only those go in if we set it to import. Yeah, so it'll never fill the slots with more than 1 stack of each item. And obviously this is stopped because of the level emitter back here, but it will run whenever we get low on dilithium. The mission for stellar creation data is using the ultra dense hydrogen, which we should have quite a lot backlogged by now. Also rocket fuel, so I'll have to remember to add the fluid input on the bottom. I don't know if I've done that already. I did do that, okay. It just needs a creative tank with some rocket fuel, and then we'll add our microminer to the interface. I'll need another robot arm to configure this one the same. And yeah, we're up to 24,000 ultra dense hydrogen. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. I don't know how much of this we're actually going to need. I suspect that will be enough. So yeah, all the inputs are set, and actually it already ran one mission based off that 1 stack I put in. I put the same robot arm logic on this with the keep exact amounts. We just have to hook this up, I think. So I just have to run the ME cable up here. And actually we should set the level emitter first. So we'll put a level emitter down here to stop the projector, same as we did before. And I think we'll set it for stellar creation data. Since there's only one tier 2 mission we want to send, right? Yeah, we don't need this one anymore, I don't think. No, I don't think we need any of these anymore. So it's just the one, so we don't need to save the tier 2 microminers. Let's see, how many should we keep in stock of stellar creation? Let's say You know what, let's just say like 64, since this is a really fast mission, and yeah, this will cause less buffers down the line. And then we'll also need a machine controller for this. Yep, and it instantly disabled since we have more than 64 stellar creation, which is what we want. I did hook up the storage bus, yeah I did. Alright, so that's stellar creation data. Yeah, that was for what, the tier 9 I think? That was to launch tier 9s? Yeah. So what does it take to launch tier 10s? That's the universe creation which we get from the tier 9, so we don't need any more input for this. We do have to, again, look at the crafting for the tier 9 and 10s. I don't think I'm going to do this passively. I want to just keep this on demand for the tier 9 and 10s, since we only need a couple hundred, so we can request, like, I don't know, 10 or 20 at a time. But I think we have to revisit this infrastructure. So all the heavy plating we're doing, the warp engines we have, this we have, I think these fusion crafts are going to have to get upgraded though, since there's going to be a lot of these, and I don't think our current fusion setup's going to be sufficient, at least for speed. It can handle it, it just is very slow with the extended recipes. Like, we only have 3 chaotic setups, so I think I'm going to have to expand this out to add more fusion injectors, and maybe even passive some of the stuff as well. For example, these awakened cores, I think I want to have these on passive. And the wyvern cores we're already doing, aren't we? I think that's what this is. Yeah, we have 970 wyvern cores. So I'll probably passive awakened. And then what else does this take? This is chaos shards. That's in the extended crafting table. What about the tier 9s? Is there any other things from the tier 9s we want to perhaps speed up? No, it's just the same in terms of the fusion setups. It's just the same. So I think the microminer missions are pretty robust as they are. Next steps is going to be to encode many more recipes for this armor. And then maybe let's set a target of what we want to craft next for this creative vending. Obviously we have creative RF and portable tank. We'll have to make a few more of those. I think we need another 5 RF sources. But I'm going to hold off on those for now. I think I'm going to make maybe the creative mill. Maybe we go for a creative mill next to get infinite GP, and then we can upgrade all of our crafters with the max speeds. And the creative mill, what does this take? More ultimate generators. I didn't actually realize that took the ultimate generators. But all of these mills shouldn't be too bad. They're quite cheap. And then these upgrades, we're going to have to set these up. But that's what we needed the apples for. So we should have quite a big backlog of apples now. But yeah, everything else shouldn't be too bad. We'll obviously need another heart of the universe, but that's what we've been setting up the infrastructure for now, so that shouldn't be too bad now. However, I think that's going to have to wait until next episode. This one took me a long time to get all the stuff moved over, and I'll finish moving the medium and the small Microverse projectors over. And then, yeah, after that, we'll look into more creative items, probably starting with the creative mill, like I mentioned. But yeah, I'm really happy that I managed to get all that stuff torn down. Hopefully we don't need the nuclear craft reactors anymore, or the GregTech ones. But overall, we're in pretty good shape to finish out this pack. There's still a little bit to go, but we're definitely nearing the end now. So yeah, again, if you have any tips or suggestions, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.